Lil Wayne is a legend in hip-hop and arguably one of the best MCs of all time when he was in his prime. But it's fair to say that the past couple of months have been pretty rough for Weezy. And well, he's not making things any easier for himself, as his ego and sense of entitlement keeps contrasting with the reality of where he's at now. Because these days, people are really on his neck in a way that you usually don't expect to see happening to a legend. It's your boy Louaista, and this is why hip-hop is churning on Lil Wayne. Generally, Lil Wayne is a man who gets plenty of flowers, and with good reason. For starters, he's responsible for an incredible catalog of music, dominating the mid-2000s with classic projects and mixtapes, which have gained him the respect of his peers and love of fans.
The day we recorded that verse, I'm in the studio with Wayne. Wayne was at Hit Factory. He had like the one upstairs, his own little corner.
That
you know what I'm saying? That was his own vibe.
Hit Factory, I'm gonna be honest. It was one time that was cash money.
Oh, no, it was.
I'm talking about for years.
But the thing is that he recorded that verse. I was in the studio. He was smoking like he's smoking now. The only difference is he was rapping, smoking, rapping, and he did like 30 records in my face. No, Ross did like 30, and 30 records that you hear on the radio right now.
Yeah, without a doubt. Not just doing
like
shit to be doing it. Yeah.
No. It's back to back. So I'm like, damn, how do I like get into this? Like, the man did 30 records. I'm like, he gotta be tired, or am I playing myself?
He's not lying, because we witnessed it ourselves in that era. Wayne is literally a machine. People who don't grow up listening to Wayne really don't understand how that dude was just incredible. Mixtapes and then go commercial and make hit after hit. As for the current generation of rappers, they owe an immense debt to Weezy. Not only because of how he rhymes and the influence of his music, but even how he reinvented how an artist is supposed to look and carry himself.
Look at me, like that's honestly an honor for you to say some shit like that. I'm giving that, like it is that. So it's just like, what can I say? Like, what can I say about that? Like, it's look at me, bro. Just look at me and what you see. I learned Lil Wayne. I wanted to be Lil Wayne. I would talk when I was younger, girls would say I look like Lil Wayne, so I would run with that. And I would wear the fedoras and I would wear the tight polo tees with the skinnies and wear the Vans and shit. Back then, I ordered a fake piercing off of Amazon and I had it right here and I used to wear it every day like I was Lil Wayne.
But while his position as a legend is intact, things aren't exactly going so well right now. And the problem resides with Wayne not being able to see the forest for the trees. Recently, Wayne took the stage at Louisiana Fest, his own special event taking place in his native New Orleans. During his show, Wayne tore through a set of classics before rounding the night off with a major moment when he reunited with Cash Money legends Hot Boys.
More happy than the fans, I believe. You feel me?
Right?
Yeah.
So was it a call from Wayne? Like, what brought it all back?
Call from Wayne.
What was that like?
Call from Wayne. It was like, me? You calling me? You feel me? It was like a God answered prayer, you know what I'm saying? You know, just to get that right energy to finally come, you know what I'm saying? Weezy, you know, he is God.
But as important as this moment was to the city, the whole thing was ultimately overshadowed by two things. Firstly, just how bad his performance was. This got him clowned almost universally, and for good reason. I would have shot my TV if I seen this shit at the Super Bowl halftime show. Lil Wayne is one of the greatest rappers of all time, and possibly the worst live performer ever. Shaded by Tyler the Creator, who declared that those little humps right before kill me under a post that was making fun of him. This came just days after his feature on Sticky pushed Weezy to 187 career Hot 100 hits, extending his record-breaking streak to 21 years. To make matters worse, his performance was eerily close to Orlando Brown's parody of his vocals, especially after he had campaigned hard to land a spot on the Super Bowl halftime show in his hometown. And as the footage of that performance went viral, people realized that Wayne's fans should never have been losing their mind over Weezy getting overlooked for the gig. This is the performance y'all were screaming and crying for? Wayne might go, but thank you, Hove. But while that got him clowned online, the real problem was that during this special moment in front of his hometown crowd, he still couldn't accept that the Super Bowl was never his to lose.
That moment I said to myself, I want to be on stage for the Super Bowl one day in front of my mom. And I worked my ass off to get that position, and it was ripped away from me.
In recent times, hip-hop has gotten a little fed up with him wallowing over the loss of a dream. How can something that was never offered to you be ripped away from you? The location of the Super Bowl doesn't always determine the performer. This pity party needs to stop immediately. This is so fucking sorry. So why is this bothering people so much, and what can he do to save his legacy? Well, there's a lot of reasons for it, but it ultimately boils down to the fact that he was never the right man for the job, and his entitlement isn't making it any easier to feel sorry for him. Back when it was initially revealed, Weezy didn't hide the fact that he was pretty much destroyed by the news that Kendrick Lamar would be performing at the Super Bowl halftime show in NOLA rather than him.
First of all, I want to say forgive me for the delay. Just the delay. I want to say I had to get strength. I had to get strength enough to do this without breaking. I must say thank you. I must say thank you to every voice, every opinion, all the care, all the love and the support out there. Your words turned into arms, and it held me up when I try to fall back. That hurt a lot. You know what I'm talking about? It hurt a whole lot. I blame myself for not being mentally prepared for a letdown, for just automatically mentally putting myself in that position like somebody told me that was my position. So I blame myself for that. But you know, I thought there was nothing better than that spot and that stage and that platform in my city. So it hurt. It hurt a whole lot.
But even though he was upset, it seemed like to begin with, he was taking responsibility for getting ahead of himself.
So, like I said, it broke me, and I'm just trying to put me back together. But my God, have you all helped me. Thanks to all my peers, my friends, my family, just my homies on sports television, everybody repping me. I really appreciate that. I really do. I feel like I let all of y'all down by not getting that opportunity. But I'm working on me, and I'm working. Thank you.
It's a weird situation that's only got stranger with his claim that it was snatched from him, and for some, Weezy speaking like that leads to questions about what really happened behind the scenes.
Because he's either very entitled or he was promised something.
But when I heard that, I had actually went backstage because this was after, like he did more songs after the reunion happened.
Right.
I was like, yo, I need to take a break. Went backstage, we watched it on the monitors. When I heard ripped away from me, I said, oh, Wayne is starting to fire again.
But while it's clear that the scars of that experience are still lingering, the fact that he's been so ungracious about it towards someone who loves him really isn't helping his case. In fact, is building animosity towards Wayne that we aren't used to seeing. Kendrick Lamar is going to be the first rapper to headline the Super Bowl solo and is a gigantic fan of Lil Wayne, who's done nothing but act like an entitled brat instead of congratulating Kendrick, who rightfully deserves it. This is a blemish on Wayne's legacy. And while people were happy to ride for Weezy initially, that argument has worn thin after performances like what we saw at Weeziana.
Yeah, it's more of a rap thing, unfortunately.
And I get it. It's in New Orleans, so people thought, you know, it was gonna go to. I don't even know how people thought that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know how people thought that. That's such a weird narrative. Like, yo, it's in New Orleans, so it should go to Wayne.
Nobody thought that, but Twitter. It's a internet Twitter rumor that they just ran with, and to the. I'm sorry, but like Wayne, the audacity to say this was ripped from me. It was never yours to have. You were never in consideration for it. Some guys on Twitter took the opportunity to throw your name out there and be like, would have been cool if Wayne, and then it got enough steam that all of a sudden it should have been yours. That's not how shit works.
Yeah.
It was never yours.
Instead, the sentiment has changed to have people, including longtime Tunchi fans, feeling like he needs to act more naturally. Weezy needs to grow up. His man is 42 and hating. Still goated, but damn, he's looking weird. The first time Wayne complained about the Super Bowl was slightly tolerable. Hearing him complain about it again comes across as whining. This is a strange situation for Weezy to be in, where even those who identify as Weezy fans are looking at him like this. It wasn't so long ago that Nori claimed Weezy to have the best and most loyal audience of them all.
Be honest with y'all, Lil Wayne might have the best fucking fans in hip hop. They're polite. They're annoying, but they're polite. They are in my DMs. How you doing, sir? When is this Wayne interview dropping? When is this? I just want to go out on a limb and tell y'all, Lil Wayne got the best fans. Not only are they crazy, but they're polite.
But in all fairness to those fans, they have tolerated a lot, sticking with him all these years, including situations which had directly contributed to Wayne never ever getting that Super Bowl show that he wanted in the first place. Over the years, Wayne's loyal followers have tolerated a lot, because it's not like he's never let his fans down before. At times, he's even behaved in the kind of rash way that Weezy is now when it comes to his refusal to acknowledge Kendrick's show or even wish him well. Let's start with the infamous onstage walk-offs, which have proven that he's not exactly the guy you want to sink millions of dollars of investment into. Among his brattiest moments were his appearance at the High Times Cup, where he demanded to never be booked for the show again.
Don't you ever call me to do this shit again. Ever. Don't you ever ask me to do this shit again. I like to thank y'all for y'all time. I don't know what. Appreciate it.
In another instance, he stormed off stage after just a half an hour, throwing microphones to the ground. Just last year, there was an incident where he ended a show in LA prematurely, as he felt his Young Money artists such as Alan Cubis and Lil Twist weren't getting the respect they deserved from the crowd. So he literally shortchanged his fans and left.
We appreciate it, but we ain't about to be bending over backwards for these folks. We work too hard for this shit. We work way too hard. This is my motherfucking artist Alan. That was Twist, that was Josh. We are Young Money. We appreciate y'all time. Appreciate you.
At that time, the hip-hop world wasn't exactly pleased with his overly emotional and entitled display. I understand Wayne's loyalty, but you can't make an audience/crowd cheer or accept a new artist. It needs to happen naturally. Over the years, a crowd not giving him the response he feels he's earned simply by being who he is has been a persistent problem. In one instance, it even led to him quitting a co-headline tour with Blink-182 at the midway point, as he didn't like being an opener.
I just want the people to know, if you're wondering, please forgive me, but I am so not used to performing to a crowd and there's not too many, like still phone. That's not my swag. I'm not sure how long I'm gonna be able to do this tour, but make some noise for Blink-182 for including me anyway.
In other instances, medical emergencies got in the way of his ability to perform. He had to cancel a show in Las Vegas in 2017 when he had multiple seizures and was found unconscious in his hotel room. This followed a similar incident in 2013 alongside many other scares over the years. While none of his fans would fault him for having a genuine health issue, Wayne's health problems unfortunately are self-inflicted. For most of his career, Weezy has been wrestling with his love of sipping syrup. And over the years, he's veered from defending it as part of his cultural identity to claiming that he doesn't want to be a bad influence on others.
I know I picked up the cup and I started drinking with this promethazine mixed with codeine, which you all know is syrup. I started drinking it because I'm from the South, New Orleans. I was young and I watched Michael Jordan Game 6 and made me want to go right into my driveway and shoot around. Well, I was also young and I listened to Pimp C and they said we drinking that lean. Maybe want to drink the lean.
A drug that killed some of the legends he looked up to, including Pimp C, Wayne has been asked time and time again about what it would take for him to kick the cup.
Everybody want me to stop and all this and all that, but it ain't that easy, bro. It ain't that easy. It felt like death in your stomach when you stop doing it. You gotta learn how to stay, you gotta go through detox.
And at times, he's even publicly declared that he was trying to take this powerful opioid out of his life forever.
Do you do that anymore at all?
No, I can't.
And what made you stop?
The doctor did.
Really?
I was doing it too much, and the doctor kind of told me, we can't tell you what to do, but I suggest that your mom tell you to stop.
But his adventures with the purple drink are well known. So too is the extent that he consumes it. In fact, he has so much of it around him that he almost killed Currency by accident.
He poured up the whole 6 thing and then put them back in the rings. So they looked like harmless purple Hawaiian punches in the fridge. So I ran in basketball thirsty and fucking down one of them bitches, like standing in the hallway of the bus just killing it. And he came on the bus and was like, oh Lord, cause he know I don't fuck with you, like Spiller. You probably about to die.
An addiction that's threatened his life time and time again. Weezy even spoke about the pains of withdrawals on the famed track I Feel Like Dying. He literally said the following lyrics: I'm at the top of the top, but still I climb. And if I should ever fall, the ground will then turn to wine. Pop, 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 I feel like flying, then I feel like frying, then I feel like dying. And while it's unclear how much he still consumes it, Wayne very much still seems to be intoxicated in public on a regular basis. Whether that's via weed, drink, or drank is unclear, but it still seems like sobriety still isn't a way that you'll often find him. And when he got arrested after a private jet search in late December 2019, the cops found not only a gold-plated handgun, but a whole array of drugs including suspected cocaine, ecstasy, marijuana, heroin, painkillers, and prescription-strength cough syrup. At 42 years of age, Weezy's fans want to see him begin to look after himself a little better. And from the outside looking in, it's his continued celebration of this kind of lifestyle that made him ineligible for the Super Bowl. Wayne spent 90% of his career promoting liquid dope and raised a generation of junkies. And y'all think the NFL is about to put him on? Because when you examine Wayne's legacy, it's impossible to gloss over all the good he's done from a musical standpoint. But it's fair to say that he also contributed to a culture that has negatively impacted hip-hop too, even claiming some of its best, brightest, and youngest.
You have those people that take it to the extreme. Like for the example, I think Wayne has said after a while, he wasn't even pouring codeine with pop. He was drinking it straight out the bottle.
While Weezy has been able to survive with his life intact, there's no denying that drug abuse has had a massive impact on him both physically and mentally. And this causes another level of frustration for hip-hop, and that it stops him from being as great as he truly could be. Not to mention that it has ruined his memory to the extent that he can't remember his own lyrics or feel any emotional tie to where he was at when he made his classic projects. I don't know, the Carter 3, the Carter 2, the Carter 1 from the Carter 4, he admitted. And that's just my God honest truth. You could lie, you could ask me about such and such song, I wouldn't even know what we talking about. Because of this, the music doesn't hold any significance to him in the same way as it does for others. So lyrics that his fans cherish can be presented to him as if he'd never heard them before.
This might be my favorite Wayne line of all time personally. This last one is fine. All right, here we go. Safe sex is great sex. Better wear latex. Because you don't want that latex, and I think I'm latex. You said that! You said
I'm gonna
that!
talk. I don't know when I said it or why I said it or where I said it.
Wayne.
I said it.
Come on, Wall. Help me out, Wall. Safe sex is great sex. Better use the latex. Because you don't want that latex. And I think I'm latex. Yeah.
In fact, this isn't just a problem in a live setting, because now it's a crucial part of his songwriting process too.
I literally, bro, when I'm doing some of my shit, you can, if you go through my phone history, when my Google history is going, and you press L, first thing gonna come up is Lil Wayne lyrics. I literally have to Google my lyrics to make sure I didn't say certain stuff.
Oh my God.
Before.
Yo, I swear to God I do that too.
Man, that's how long we've been doing this shit.
Yeah. I just did that shit last night.
That's why I just told you. That's why I say as soon as you go to my Google history, my Safari, it's gonna be Lil Wayne lyrics.
Now, Wayne has taken drastic measures and uses a teleprompter to help him with the words, essentially meaning that this legendary rapper is now doing karaoke to his new tracks. Understandably, fans are able to understand the limitations of where he can perform today. I love Wayne, and I will never take credit away from him as a genius, but I can understand why they didn't have him perform. He never remembers his lines and his performances are trash. Beyond those lingering issues, there is the simple fact that Wayne doesn't handle his brand well. For starters, his recent catalog has been far from spectacular.
I haven't dropped anything that's that crazy. The anticipation for Carter 5 was that we had been anticipating it for how many years? I don't know. It was a long time coming. But beyond that, it hasn't been anything crazy. So when I think about it like this, I'm like, even project-wise, outside of your performances, it's not really given that much for somebody to hold on to for you to even perform at the Super Bowl. Why would they ask you?
And at times, he does and says things that you would never expect a top-tier rapper to engage in, including performing at weddings for a bag where he should be selling out arenas. But at the minute, it's that victim complex he's having, which came about around the time of him not getting the Super Bowl placement, which is really hurting his reputation. Because now, fans are wondering if it was him who was responsible for the notoriously bad attitudes of some of his Young Money signees too. Before I show you that clip, I gotta tell you guys about today's video sponsor, Manscaped. With the holiday season here, cuffing season, family dinners, all that, you don't wanna show up looking like you just crawled out of a cave. Well, that's where the Performance Package 5.0 Ultra from Manscaped comes in. Picture this, the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra. This thing is smooth, reliable, and it keeps you fresh whether you're prepping for a date night or just trying to make a good impression around the family. And let's not forget the Weed Whacker 2.0, handling any of those stray nose and ear hairs that love to show up unannounced. Plus, they've got you covered post-shave with the Crop Soother and the Crop Preserver. And you even got some holiday freebies. Their Boxers 2.0 and also this Shed 2.0 travel bag. If you're interested in all of this, head over to manscaped.com and use code LOU20 to get 20% off plus free shipping. That's code LOU20 for 20% off and free shipping. Trust me, this is the real MVP of holiday grooming. Go check it out now. But now let's get back into the video. Although he feels like he's lost a chance that he felt was rightfully his, Louisiana Fest proved that New Orleans is still rocking with him to the fullest. And even with all the evidence to the contrary, they're the ones who really still want to see him on that halftime show stage.
I just felt that they should have said, okay, we're gonna let you guys share it. Because Wayne have influenced the next generation of rap. Like a lot of these young people, this is how serious it is with Wayne. A lot of these young rappers, a lot of these young people still know who Wayne is. Whereas one time I was talking about when BG first got out, it was a little female. She was like 25 years old, and she was like, "Who is BG?" I said, "You never heard of Bling Bling?" She said, "No." she said, "My mom didn't mind to listen to that." You know what I'm saying? So
I mean, it's true.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it go to show you, like, so many people didn't know who BG was, but they knew who Wayne is because Wayne constantly kept music staying with the times, you know.
But when you really look at everything Wayne has accomplished, it seems like he's focusing on the wrong things by getting so hung up on the Super Bowl scenario. Just look at Louisiana Fest. That same night that he claimed the Super Bowl was taken from him, he got the key to the city and was informed that he would receive the first star on the New Orleans Walk of Fame on Canal Street.
Presented to Mr. Dwayne, Lil Wayne, Michael Carter Jr. You know who that is? That's it. We know who you are. We love you in your city. This is happening.
What we about to do for you next, February 6th. I know y'all seen the Hollywood Walk of Fame. February 6th on Canal Street. We start the NOLA Walk of Fame, and you the first one.
And there's no denying that he deserves that, as he has always put on for his city to the fullest.
All New Orleans music inspires me. What influenced us was the early New Orleans artists before us. We're all just following that fabric, that tradition, that culture now, and it's easy to follow when it's natural.
The only issue is that at this stage in his career, Lil Wayne needs to focus more on what he's achieved rather than let what hasn't managed to define him. And there are times where he's shown that he's capable of this. During a speech after he won the Global Impact Award last year, Wayne spoke openly about the sacrifices that were made and everything he's achieved against the odds.
You know, like where I'm from, New Orleans, where I'm from, you're not supposed to do this. Where I'm from, I walked into my mama's room when I was 14. She asked me for a kid because my dad was killed and her son had just blew up and went on his first tour, and we did not know that it would be 6 months.
When Wayne is able to really reflect, he seems to know what he's achieved, and not only that, is aware that he's more relevant than most rappers in his age bracket ever have been.
Obviously being in the game for so long, like, what is your why?
Honestly, man, it's literally just waking up and getting the chance to do it again, and also being validated and being still wanted and people wanting to hear me, wanting to listen to me. That right there is that's the exact answer. There's nothing that is not for this, is not for that. Is simply waking up, getting the chance to be great, and trying my hardest to just be 1% better than I was yesterday.
In the past few months, that doesn't always seem to be enough for him when it really should. But this is where the very thing that makes him who he is becomes a problem. Throughout his career, Weezy has never wanted to be second best or play second fiddle to anyone. So it's this drive and love of artistry that keeps him there to this day.
It'll be hard not to keep being creative if you're a creative person.
Right.
It's just, it's up to you to want to put the creation together, and that's why I said until I don't have that energy to want to, them words that keep popping up in my when I can't watch TV without words, analogies, and trust me. And when that stop happening, until I'm ready, if I don't call Mac, if I don't call Lucy, shout out Lucy, that's my assistant. If I don't hear Lucy and say studio 2 a.m. You know what I mean? If I don't hear them say studio 1 a.m.
Don't get it twisted, nothing here has been said out of hate for Lil Wayne. Now 30 years in the game, Lil Weezy has done it all and said it all. His career is a benchmark for what you can achieve through hard work and always trying to improve your craft. However, what all of hip hop is saying right now is that rather than keep hanging on to the one thing that isn't in his grasp, he should focus on preserving and expanding on the legacy he does have. Because after all this time, it'd be a damn shame for it to be obscured by his behavior in the later stages of his time on the mic. Now, if you want to learn about why Kendrick was picked over Wheezy for the Super Bowl, you can click the video on the screen. Till next time, my friends, peace.